Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 11 of the John Doe Review. My name is Danielle. John Doe, obviously. I got this little mic on me, and y'all, I'm a little stressed out about bugs right now. Okay, so one of my topics in this week's episode is, or was going to be, a story about a roach, and I'll get to that. But then, as I walk into this room to sit down to film my podcast episode, I am greeted with the what's the word for when you chop something up? Dismembered. There we go. It took me a second. The dismembered carcass of a roach. Okay. And we'll get into that later, but I know how it got there is because one of our cats, Flint, to be specific, the black one, you might see him in the background, he has a thing about finding them and killing them, and I appreciate that, okay? Because this house does have an issue. It's old. We're moving in August, thank God. But it's old, and so there's cracks everywhere, and it's so easy for those big-ass roaches to get in. And I hate them. That's one thing about me. I can't stand a roach. I could do a spider. I could do a scorpion if I had to. But I can't do roaches. They make me want to die. And so he'll find them and kill them, and for the most part, I'm happy. I'll be like, oh, and he'll be playing with the dead body. I'm like, okay, it's kind of weird, and I'll just pick it up, throw it away. Sometimes he gets a little overzealous. Okay, he's young. He just turned 1 a couple months ago. Happy birthday, Flint. But, he like ripped it apart. It was shredded across this bed. I had to pick it up. I'm sitting in the corner that I think no guts were touched. And then right after this, I'm stripping the bed and putting the sheets to wash before I have to head out for work. Anyways. And so I'm going to talk about some topics. Let's get into what those will be. As I already mentioned before, the first story will be just talking about the ongoing roach problem we've been having. I'll get into detail. It's not an infestation, I'm pretty sure. I just say, okay, we'll get into it. Next topic, pulling my hip, killing a roach. I swear this whole episode is not about bugs. After that, I will talk about helping out old students of mine from when I was teaching and what that was like. It's been a minute. Wow. And how me walking into a men's restroom is linked to that. After that, I'm going to give my review of the movie Obsession, that new indie horror movie that came out. Stay tuned for that. And then after that, I'm going to end with 2 stories that happened this past weekend over Memorial Day weekend. One of them accidentally, hard emphasis on the accidentally, insulting my friend's brother and sister-in-law by calling them trash, okay? And then after that, we're going to finish with a story of how I'm a determined person and I will win code names. No matter what type of associations I have to call as team captain to get our team to win. And that's basically what happened. And I'll be talking about that specifically because me and Hunter had a game night on Sunday for Memorial Day weekend. And then obviously this is the John Doe Review. I keep forgetting to say this in episodes, but yes, you do have to stay until the end to see what my review is of the last 2 weeks. Let's get into it. So, I've already talked about how there's a little bit of a roach problem in this house. Here's the thing. It's not an infestation. It's not the little itty bitty ones that are all in your walls. And we don't really see them during the day ever. And so that's a big thing. If you didn't know this, especially if you're somebody who's trying to rent a house or just buy a home, wherever you're going, honestly. If you walk in during the day and you see dead roaches, especially if they're the little ones or live ones just walking around, that place is infested because roaches are nocturnal. And so it's not crazy to see them at night. But during the day, that's the thing. One time me and Hunter toured a house before we decided to rent this one. Everywhere. Open the cabinet. Roaches, alive and dead, just having a party. Everywhere. Every drawer you open, they're in corners of the house. Insane. But this house, it's very cute. It's very old. There are things I love about it, things I hate about it. Number one thing I hate about it, though, is there are cracks everywhere. There are little ways for bugs to get in every single room of this house, including the freaking pantry. We told our landlord, hey, and our landlord's actually quite nice. I really like her. She's like this older Hispanic lady, super cool. We told her, hey, we have an ant problem because there's a giant mountain of an ant hill. You think I'm exaggerating if you were here. I'm not joking. It's like over a foot tall. I'm scared to walk up to it. We've tried the powder and they keep coming back. We told her about the ant problem in the pantry because, fun fact, they chewed a hole through our unopened bag of Takis. Haven't bought Takis since. Which, like, look, if I was an ant, would I be chewing a hole through a bag of Takis to get some of those chips? Yes, okay? What can an ant do? All right? But it was irritating. Told our landlord, she was like, yeah, I'll call the exterminator people. You know, they set up traps, whatever. And then they go in the pantry, and our pantry's like weirdly long, like on the sides. And he literally goes to us and says, yeah, I can't reach those holes over there, so. Okay. Okay? And I was like, any tools? No, we just can't reach it. So yeah, we'll get back to you. Oh! Okay, all right. Basically, now that the weather has been warming up, we're seeing those big ass roaches again, like the ones that are like this freaking big. I'm not exaggerating. Some people call them like water bugs. I don't know the difference. I don't know if they're different species, okay? I just know they're brown and they look gross. And so my husband was actually on vacation with his family because I couldn't go. And so I was at the house alone, obviously at the perfect time for the weather to warm up, for roaches to start reappearing. The first appearance it was actually the day he left. I get out of bed, you know, it's a weekend. I'm walking to the kitchen to grab some water. I feel something tickle my foot as I take a step. Whatever. Okay, I don't think twice about it, except I do. So then I turn around and I look at the ground. Hey, what the hell just tickled my feet? There is a gently alive roach on its back. I think it maybe had 15 minutes left of its life. And its legs are twitching. God. I can't live like this. Its legs are twitching and they tickled the bottom of my foot. And I had to cut it off, guys. I don't have a left foot anymore. And so that was the first one. And obviously I reacted like any normal person would. I started screaming for Hunter. He comes out, what? And then I point and he's like, oh my God. And, you know, he picks it up, obviously, because he's usually the one on roach duty. But then he leaves for his vacation. And so I'm home alone, whatever. Flash forward a couple of days. It's the morning again. I get up in the morning. And my morning routine when Hunter is gone, and I'm aware that roaches might be like still out from the night before or whatever, is the second I step outside the door, I'm like, have you seen those videos of like, it's like the freaking nature documentaries and they're like, this is what a predator looks like in the wild. Like, no, that's literally me. Like my eyes are fixed and I'm darting all over the place looking to see if I need to kill something. And I look in the very tip top of our ceiling, because our living room ceiling comes to a point and in the top in the corner is a big ass roach. And so I'm like, fuck. But I have to kill it because here's my thing. I know it's there and I'd rather have to work up the courage to kill it than just leave it there and then just like not know where the fuck it is. I obviously do what I'm supposed to do. We didn't have a ladder, so I start throwing my dog's toys at it. Takes me about 20 minutes because this thing, I don't know if it's just stupid or it doesn't give a fuck. I'm throwing things and it's hitting like right next to it on the ceiling. Doesn't move. Like it only moves if the actual toy itself, and these are like weirdly shaped, like long toys or like weirdly round, whatever. Finally, I get it down after about 20 minutes of throwing, and my dog the entire time thinks I'm trying to play. I throw it up and he's like, and I'm like, Ash, this is not playtime. And he's like, and I'm like, okay, whatever. I get the thing down, hit it head on, it falls to the ground. Obviously, I start screaming. Then the cat that I talked about earlier, who dismembered a roach today on our bed, need to wash the sheets right after this, immediately goes after it, chases it to underneath the front door. Then I'm like, oh my God, okay, either it went outside or I'm gonna have to open the front door and it's immediately gonna scurry. Nightmare scenario. Open the door. Obviously, it starts scurrying inside. I immediately start screaming. I rear up my foot, and I'm wearing like a thick-soled Doc Marten, so prime shoe for this. I rear up my foot as high as my jeans will allow me, and I smash the fuck out of that roach so hard that I then immediately pulled a muscle in my hip. And like immediately got embarrassed. Like the roach just splattered all over the thing. I gotta clean the floor. I gotta clean my shoe. And now I got a knot in my hip and had to go to work right after. Was walking a little funny. Only for a day though. Only for a day. All right. So not too much now. But it did remind me that I probably should start stretching daily, especially the older I get. All right. I think that was the first moment I felt my age. I went to work and I was like, wow. I'm officially getting old. Like I'm telling people stories about how I tweaked my hip killing a fucking roach. Anyways, next story. I saw my old students from when I was teaching high school. This was 2 Fridays ago now. And it was cute. I think it's so funny every time I see them. Usually I see them like in public randomly because I still live in the area. And like every time they see me, it's like they're seeing a dead person. They're like, Miss John Doe? And I'm like, don't call me that. Miss John Doe is the past. I'm Danielle now. But they're always like so shocked to see me, right? And then obviously I know some of them freaking watch this podcast. I don't know I can't block every one of them. But I know in my mind, I'm like, oh my God, I'm probably like the most memed freaking cringe. Like, I can't imagine if my band director, from high school started a podcast, oh my God, we'd be tearing them up left and right. So I imagine that's what's happening to me on here. But whenever I see them, they seem excited to see me. And I'm like, oh, nice. I guess you didn't hate me. That's nice, cool. But I like saw them at school because my coworkers from my old team needed me to come help out with like some oboe stuff. So I walk in the door. Obviously, the kids are like, and then the kids who don't know me are like, who's this random bitch? And I'm like, hey, hi. I do my stuff. Kids do come up to me and say, Miss John, do I watch your podcast? And I was like, no, don't tell me that. Cover your ears, okay? I'm saying naughty words. But the internet is the internet, so they're going to figure it out anyway, so whatever. But that was really sweet. But how this connects to me walking into a men's restroom. The day before, when my coworkers reached out and were like, hey, can we actually coordinate you coming? My job had like an after work, like big board meeting. I'm texting my old coworkers as I'm following my current coworker into the office, so I'm like, answering, yeah, I could be there at like 11 something, blah, 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 blah. And I'm just following him. And then, I walk through a door and I hear him go, Danielle, what are you doing? And I look up from my phone and all I see are urinals. So I'm like, I go, oh my God. And I just walk out and I round the corner. And then my other coworkers who were already in the meeting room heard the commotion. And I walk in and I'm like, hear me out, guys. And then I was a dumbass and like cracked a joke and was like, I'm going to put this on the podcast. And then I was like, why the fuck did I say that? And now everybody knows I have a podcast. And I think, I know at least one of them has watched it. If you're watching this, you know who you are. And she complimented me and I was like, oh, thanks. I know I can be annoying, so you don't have to keep listening. And then my other ones were like, oh my God. And then started playing episode 1. I was like, stop. But yeah, so now my coworkers know I have a podcast now. And I got to see the inside of a men's restroom. So there's that. This is a weird episode. Next story. Obsession. Man. If you haven't seen the movie, long story short, a guy gets this like wishing willow branch thing from like a voodoo looking shop, thinks it's a joke, makes a wish that the girl he has a crush on loves him more than anybody else in the world. And it's a movie, so obviously it actually works. This movie fully takes you down how dark and scary true human obsession can be. And there are some people who like talk about this film as if, there's a demon, there's an entity, because the victim in the movie, her name's Nikki, sometimes comes out, like her normal personality comes out and is like clearly aware that she's doing really weird shit. And she refers to this other part of herself as like her, like she's asleep. Like there's a scene where she refers to herself in the third person. But the creators of the movie have come out and said like, there's no entity. Like it is her. It's just this weirdly controlled part of herself that this like wishing stick brought out. So it fully, like, you are witnessing, like people can get that fucking crazy when they're obsessed with something or someone. And like, obviously we've kind of heard about this in the news. Like you hear stories about people going crazy over people they love. And so I walked into this movie kind of hearing the premise, okay, oh my God. One, the acting in this film, phenomenal. The whole cast was great. Indy Navarrete, I think is her name, or Navarrete, I could be saying that wrong. Probably the best performance I've seen all year. And like me and Hunter regularly go to see movies. The way she plays the rational Nikki and then the like wish Nikki, insane. Like you literally see the flip in her eyes. I cannot recommend this movie enough. Like it was such an insane watch if you're into like horror, but this was also like kind of thriller-esque. There's no real like, there's like maybe one or two jump scares, but for the most part, the movie really sits with just making you uncomfortable with what you're seeing on the screen. The way they play with lighting, with makeup, with just dialogue and telling like scary, like uncomfortable stories. Disgusting. Loved it. But I really, really recommend it. There's this debate going on right now on if people think the lead male, his name's Bear, is the villain or not. And I'm going to be very honest. If you watched that movie and walked away not completely sure that Bear is the villain in this movie, I think you have the media literacy of an elementary kid. I don't think there is a debate. I think the movie is actually quite upfront that he is a villain. One, the wish he makes, sure, you can argue he didn't think it would actually happen, but the wish itself is pretty insane. Like you are wishing for somebody to artificially fall in love with you because you just asked for it. That's kind of crazy. But other than that, there are moments in this movie very early on that Bear realizes that Nikki is not actual Nikki. She's actually, we'll call her Nasty Nikki. And he just keeps pushing forward. There's a sex scene where this is after he already knows she's being controlled by the wish. And you can see on this controlled Nikki's face that like she's completely disassociated, but like moaning and putting on a performance for him so that like he can get off on it. Oh my, and at this point he already knows. And so then it gets even worse as the film continues, because then there's a moment where the true Nikki comes out while the other Nikki's like asleep or something. And she's saying like, please just kill me. Like this is awful, whatever. And Bear turns to her and goes, like genuinely offended. He goes, "What's so wrong about being with me? I'll kill you with a gun right now." What? No. If you up until that point thought maybe, he's questionable, maybe he's just, really fucking pathetic and sad and whatever, but whatever stupid excuses you want to make for him, that scene right there tells you enough. And then flash forward to the end of the movie, Nikki's killed literally everyone they know. Her life is ruined. She's disfigured her own face. Like, she's gone literally insane at this point. Bear is like, okay, the only way to help this is I'm going to kill myself. Goes to the bathroom, takes some pills, does what he thinks is best. And then at the last second, after he's made the decision, because he knows the only way for her to snap back to reality is for him to die, he chickens out at the last minute. And some people may say, oh, it's because, he got scared. Like, it's a scary idea to, like, literally kill yourself. But I don't really think that's what it was. I think at the last second, he has the thought of, let me just try again. I can make this work. Because he does that multiple times throughout the movie. He's confronted with the reality that this is not Nikki. This is this weird, like, zombified version of her that he created. And then he'll just randomly be like, but this can work. This can work, though. Like, we could figure it out. You've killed all these people, and everybody's dead. You're literally, like, there's a dead body in the living room, but I don't want to die. We can make this work. We can figure it out. We can take the $1 billion that are next door and go somewhere. He's the villain. There's no doubt about it. I think he ultimately got what he deserved because right when he's trying to choke up these pills, Nikki makes a wish because he brought a freaking wishing willow home, makes her own wish. You can obviously infer. Some people are like, I wonder what she wished for. Guys, media literacy is at an all-time low. What do you think she just wished for? Her whole thing is she's obsessed with him and wants him to love her as much as she loves him because she feels like he doesn't love her as much as she loves him. So he stops mid fingers down his throat, goes out there, and obviously they're in love, and then like he freaking dies because he took these pills. And then Nikki eventually wakes up at the last second as her like altered brain is about to kill itself because it's so devastated that Bear's dead. Wakes up as herself because whatever this like spell is broken, and like just sobs. And like, I don't even know, there's no way she's getting out of that situation. Like her life is over. She looks like she killed 3 people. Insane movie. Bear's the villain. Feel very bad for Nikki. She is the ultimate victim in this. Wow. And what makes it even worse is you could argue, based off of everything that you've seen at the beginning of the film before, Nikki gets taken advantage of, you could argue that she had a crush on Bear or was at least a little interested. I've been seeing people say like, no, because her friend said that she told her that she sees Bear as a brother. Here's the thing though. Everybody knew, I think the friend's name was Sarah. Everybody knew that Sarah had a crush on Bear. So Nikki could have been like, look, I'm having a situationship and having sex with the other guy in this 4-person friend group. And then I know that my friend really, really likes this guy and I may be, developing feelings for him, but I just don't want to mess with that because, that's my friend at the end of the day, whatever. So of course she's going to be like, yeah, no, I see him as a brother, girl. Like, go ahead, whatever. And also, it's not even confirmed if that was actually said because Sarah clearly really liked Bear. So it's like the scene leading up to the wish being made for Nikki to love Bear, to me she kind of has a thing for you because she was like, tell me, now's your time to tell me if you like me. And like blatantly just asked him like, do you have feelings for me? And Bear, time and time again, he does this the whole freaking film, chickens out and doesn't say it. But Nikki, prior to even calling that out, literally says to Bear, like, when I like a guy, nobody even knows. And I'm like, look, I've said that to guys before. And guess what? I liked those guys. I said it too. So it's like you could argue that Nikki already had feelings for Bear and was just trying to play it off because of how messy their whole friend group was. And if Bear had just nutted up and said something, then maybe they could have given it a go and maybe it would have worked out, maybe it wouldn't have worked out, but it would have been a consensual relationship where no one had to die and no one's lives had to be ruined. All my homies hate Bear. Go watch this movie. It's phenomenal. Shout out the whole team behind it. Great talent, great acting. I hope horror continues in this direction. Oh my God, I didn't even mention the scene where Bear is on the phone with customer service and his first instinct is, can I alter the wish? Not can I cancel the wish? Can I alter the wish because she's acting weird? I just want her to act normal. What the fuck? And then the call progresses. He finds out he can't do anything about it. And then it's like, hey, do you want to talk to Nikki? Proceeds to hear Nikki's soul screaming in hell on the other side of the line. Oh my God. This is insane. All right. I blabbed enough about that. And speaking of insanity, here's how I was accidentally insane at a wonderful party I was invited to. Our friends invited me and Hunter out to their family's Memorial Day party, and it's like this big thing. We got there early, not early. Usually the party started earlier, but it was like pouring rain and we still showed up on time. And so we were there like hours before everybody else got there, and we're hanging out, like chatting with the family. And I'm listening to our friend's sister-in-law tell this story about like this guy that she was dating went on a date. Like they were supposed to link up for a party or something. I can't remember. But his sister-in-law was talking about this like guy she had dated, ended up going to somewhere else with another girl. And like they ended up getting married. And so I interpreted this as like, oh, your ex like freaking left you to go be with a girl and he ended up marrying that girl. Disgusting. And so I was like, yeah, I mean, trash likes trash, right? That's all I said. Because yes, I do believe trash attracts trash at the end of the day. That's a messy ass story. I don't think anything of it. Like I got a couple of chuckles, whatever. And then, we move on. I get outside maybe like 20, 30 minutes later. And my friend goes, oh yeah, Danielle, she was talking about my brother. Oh my God. He was like, she was talking about my brother and her. And I was like, what the fuck do you mean? So basically what she was talking about was his sister-in-law, had been dating her brother in high school. And I don't know if they were on and off. I don't know the full story, but she was talking about how one time he like went to somewhere else with another girl when he was supposed to be with her. And I think it was like when they were broken up or something like that. But when they said, and then he married her, they weren't referencing the girl that he went to whatever party with. They were talking about how like, oh, but at the end of the day, like it all worked out. Y'all stay together and like they have a beautiful family. They have kids. And I was like, you're fucking lying. And they were like, no, like she was talking about like her and him and how like he did that and that like pissed her off, but like they ended up together and like it all worked out. And I was like, oh my God, because I literally said trash like trash. And then Hunter goes, yeah, Danielle, you didn't see like how like the room got quiet? And I was like, no. Like look, it takes a lot for me to like feel awkward in a room, and I did not pick up any awkwardness. He was like, Danielle, that's why I was like staring at you. And I was like, you like chuckled. And he was like, yeah, but not really. And I was like, what do you mean? Like you do random chuckles all the time. This is my beef with Hunter right now. He did not make it obvious enough to me that I just said some crazy shit. Or like, he sent me a text saying, dude, you just said yada yada. Like he didn't explain it. He just said, I gave you a look. Well, clearly it wasn't a look enough because I didn't notice. And then my friend he just laughed. He just laughed when I said trash like trash. I was like, what? Pause. That's your brother and your sister-in-law. And he was like, yeah, this is kind of funny though. I was like, what the fuck? And so then I'm like, oh my God, I have to go back in and apologize because I had like fully mixed up the story in my head. Because I was like, also, while she was telling it to like the room of people, and I was like kind of on my phone as I was listening. And so I go back in and I was like, oh my God, just so you know, I thought when you were telling this story that you were talking about like an old ex of yours who like left you for another girl and married her. And that's why I said trash likes trash. I didn't know you were talking about how like this was like a little funny story from when y'all were in high school. What the fuck? And she starts dying. Like literally gets up and is like, I'm about to pee myself, and like has to go to the bathroom. And then she reveals, I didn't even hear you when you said that. So now I'm like, fuck, did I just bring this up for no reason? And then like all the two other women in the room, which was like her mother and then my friend's mom, were like laughing. They were like, oh, blah, 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 blah. And they were laughing. Apparently no one heard it other than my friend and then my other friend who's his wife, and then Hunter. I guess nobody else clocked that I had said that. I mean, it's not like I yelled it. Ugh. And so then I just like aired out my business. And so obviously she goes and tells her husband and is like, haha, she called you trash, blah, 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 blah. Because I think what she took away was like, ultimately I was saying like he's a trash man for like even going out with another girl. Which like I wasn't trying to say that. Like at the end of the day, like that is a cute story. Like y'all are together, you have a beautiful family, and you were in high school, whatever. I thought we were just talking shit about an old ex, okay? And so then she tells her husband, but not in front of me. And so her husband's my friend's brother. And the rest of that day, like once it stopped raining, everybody's in the pool, he just finds a way to incorporate trash. He comes up to me at one point, he's like, hey, can you throw away the trash for the trash? And like gestures to himself. And I was like, fuck. I was like, I don't think you're trash. I think you're golden. You matter. And like the whole rest of like other people were referencing it. Anytime trash got brought up, even when I left, I get up and he's like, but you haven't taken out the trash yet. And like his wife is dying in the corner. All of their friends at this point know about the little mix up. And I look at him and I'm like, I'm sorry. And then I like mime myself like tying a trash bag closed and like throwing it over my shoulder and I walk out. But I feel so bad because I'm like, oh my God, could you imagine if she had heard me and thought that I was like calling her and or her husband trash? Oh my God. But then it all worked out. It became a joke. I feel really bad about it. All right, let's wrap up this episode. Last story, very quick story. Me and Hunter had a game night on Sunday for Memorial Day weekend. And here's why I feel kind of cool. Before like the year of our wedding, we used to have game nights like very regularly. I'm a big gamer. Like I love any type of game, board game, video game, whatever game, I'm in. And so we've always had game nights with our friends. And they used to be like a pretty regular thing. Maybe like every couple of months we were having one. But we didn't have one probably since like the summer of last year. We did not have a game night. We had like a Halloween party, but there were no games at that. And our Halloween party was like over 30 people. Like nobody was playing games at it. And so Memorial Day weekend was approaching and we were like, you know what? We don't have anything planned. Let's have a game night. And we started inviting like the usual people we invite to game nights. And our game nights aren't like kickbacks per se. Like the goal is to play games. It's not, hey, guys, come over and we might play games. It's like, no, you're coming here because we want to play games. And like, yes, there's food. Yes, there's drinks, alcohol, all of that. We're having a good time. But at the end of the day, everybody's there to play some games at some point. And so this game night, we had people coming up to us like, yeah, we were wondering like why y'all hadn't had one in a while. And I was like, so you guys missed them. Because I love hosting and I love being like the house that when people hear something's happening, they want to go to it. And I'm not saying we are that definitively, but we did have friends say like, even with this last game night, like y'all are the hosters. Like, yeah, it was weird that you haven't had one in a while. And so what was really cool about this game night and what felt super successful is I guess game nights have become such a well-known thing in our circle that before they used to be, you know, we are meshing different friend groups. So there's a level of like unfamiliarity with people. But now that they're kind of a regular thing and we kind of invite the same people to them, these people have kind of formed their own bonds over time. And so they like know each other's names, like they're cool, comfortable with each other. So like this game night, we had multiple games going on at one point. Each of these games got lit as fuck, like people yelling, screaming, whatever. And when I was playing a separate game, like Hunter was playing, I think, Uno No Mercy with the other group. And I'm playing Codenames with people. If you don't know what Codenames is, it's basically like a word association game where there's two team captains. They're given a grid of words. And as a team captain, you have to give one word hints to get your team to pick which words you're referencing on the grid. So like, let's say, I don't know, I'll pick random words that are obviously associated. It could be arm, head, toenail. And a hint I could give to my team, it has to be one word. I could say body for 3. And then my team would have to look at all the words on the board and decide what do they think I'm referencing. And then they pick from there. And you have to make sure that they don't pick the other team's word. So like I was the red team And then the blue team was my other friend. And first round, we lost, okay? Second round, we won. Great. Want to know how we won? And I got judged for this. I'm down to 2 words, okay? There's only one thing that I can say that I can guarantee in my mind they will be able to catch the association that I'm trying to make between these 2 words, okay? I'm not going to say what the words were. I'm not going to say anything specific other than it was a little problematic. It was a little problematic. I didn't say any slurs or anything. Don't get crazy, okay? I'm not that crazy. But it very much hinged on stereotypes. And I just said it. And I literally prefaced it though. I was like, guys, we need to win. They're about to win. I'm so sorry. Blank for 2. And they were like, what do you mean by that? That's what you mean by that. And then they picked the words, and then the other team was like, oh, Danielle, what the fuck? And I was like, I'm sorry. But you picked it. And all of you knew what I was trying to connect. So is this my fault? Or is this y'all's fault? Or is this a bigger picture and it's actually society's fault? Because all y'all knew what I was trying to reference. And we won, okay? Tough times call for tough decisions. And as a team captain, I'm going to pull through for my team. All right, we won. And then we won the next round. So we won best 2 out of 3. 1 overall. Team red for the win. How we won, you want to guess? I'm drunk as hell. We have 1 word that we can't figure out. And so we go process of elimination from past hints. And I go, man, it's Ray. Let's just fucking hit it. And the rest of my team was like, yeah, let's hit it. Because our other teammate was team captain and she's just staring at us. She can't tell us anything. And I tapped Ray and it was the last word and we won. So if anything, I'm feeling like MVP. All right. Did I get judged? Yes, but I'm also judging them because why did you guess it right? Why did you guess it right? Okay. If anything, we're all the problem here. All right. After this very, very random episode, I think this might be the most random episode topics-wise that I've ever put out. Now I have to rate the last 2 weeks of my life out of 5 stars. I'm going to give it 3.9 stars. All right, almost 4 stars. Would have been 4 stars if I wasn't dealing with roaches, okay? They ruin my day, they ruin my week, they ruin my life every time I see them, all right? But 3.9 because I've just been loving my community a little extra hard lately. I love my friends, I love my family, I love people. Oh, my nephew, my second nephew that's on the way is either already born right now or like is in the process of being born literally right now. And so I'm very excited for that. Shout out him. Happy birthday, maybe. And so we're on the ups. And you know what? Because it's my nephew that's being born very soon, 4 stars. He bumped it. Because it slipped my mind that he's literally entering the world right now. So shout out him, shout out my brother, shout out my brother's girlfriend. Yay for love and life. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, do all the things. And I will see you in 2 Sundays. Bye.